All right, we're now being joined by the head coach of Belmont, Rick Bird, as well as a couple student athletes, Dylan Windler and Kevin McLean. Just a couple housekeeping items. If you got a question, just raise your hand. We'll bring the mic around. Please wait for the mic for our transcription purposes. Identify yourself by name and affiliation. And then just please direct your questions to a specific student athlete. In terms of locker room access, now that Belmont is up here on the dais, their locker room is open for 30 minutes starting right now. Once they're dismissed, Temple's locker room will be open for 30 minutes at that point. So first, Rick, if you'd like, you can start with an opening statement before we open the floor for questions.
First off, I'd like to congratulate Temple on a great year and Coach Dunphy on an unbelievable career. He is really one of, if not the best guy in our business, and a quality man. This game will miss him. So I was fully prepared to be happy for him if we weren't able to win this game, because it's his last year. So anyway, this is an historic night for Belmont University and our basketball program. Just 48 hours ago, we didn't know if we were going to be in this, and I didn't know if these two seniors were going to ever get to play in the NCAA tournament, and now they've got Belmont's first win. So it's a big night for us, and we're happy we're up here talking to you.
Questions for Dylan and Kevin only at this point. You get the mic up here.
Yeah, obviously, if you look at his stats, he was a huge role for us tonight in the win. Just having that inside presence, being able to score it, even if he's not scoring it, he's a really good passer out of there, and he gets guys open. So just having that big presence in there, and on the defensive end, he got some good deflections and blocks. So he's a big piece of what we do.
Kevin, can you comment also? I totally agree with Dylan just said. He's a great scorer inside, and that's what we were hurting on in our championship game in the OVC, and he came back and did what he had to do.
Right here on the right. Leo. Behind you. Yeah, behind you, sorry.
Kellen Bogart, OVC ball. Dylan, as many wins as the guy beside you has over his career, how does it feel to be a part of his first NCAA tournament win?
It feels amazing, to be honest. Obviously a Hall of Famer. The fact that he hasn't won a game is tough. I'm baffled by it, but I'm just really happy to be a part of it. I think this team is really special, and I think we can make a run in the next few days and weeks to come. So I'm really excited about what we got going here, and I think we got a really good team led by Coach.
It's almost an honor to win a game under the belt of Coach Bird in the NCAA. Also, knowing that
almost Kevin, just almost an honor.
Even though that we didn't know we were gonna be in the tournament and everything, how that went down, it's just amazing to me.
Right here on the right, front right.
Evan Easterling, the Temple News for Dylan. Was going to Nick down low kind of what you wanted to do going in, or was it something where you guys went to when you weren't as much as a factor?
No, that's always our game plan. Our offense revolves around him. We're always looking to get it inside. Whenever he's in the game, we're trying to feed it to him. We have a really good backup in Seth Adelsberger, and when he's in the game, we run more ball screen offense. So we have that dynamic there, and I think it works really well. It brings a little change of pace. But he was scoring it amazing inside tonight, so we were just kept on feeding him, and he did a really good job.
Follow up.
If I may, Nate Pierre-Louis, number 15, guarding you. Just what kind of matchup was that like for you?
It was a good one. He's a really good defender, obviously. He got up in me early and often, but I just try to stay patient, not take too many bad shots, not force anything, and I didn't shoot as much as I would like to. I think I stayed really patient, and I think that helped our team a lot. I try to do everything I can, whether if it's not scoring on that night. I'm going to get rebounds, I'm going to get steals, deflections. I'm just a winner, so luckily it's a team sport, so Not one person's going to carry the team always. We got a really good team, so just do what I can to win.
Let's go here on the left.
Kevin and Dylan, Coach mentioned that he wasn't sure if you guys were going to get a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. When you see your name pop up and then you're getting sent here to Dayton, is there any kind of additional chip on your shoulder or motivation that you have going in to a game like this?
Dylan, can you answer that first?
Yeah. I would just say motivation, just proving ourselves and proving to not only the committee but everyone that supported us over the week to help us get in the tournament, all those supporters and everything, just motivation to prove them that we're a really good team. We deserve to be in this tournament.
Kevin?
Yeah, that just means we belong in this tournament, and as tonight, you can see that.
Yep, here on the right.
Joe Rexo, the Tennessean. Actually, we're not asking Rick questions yet, are we? Actually, Kevin, I'll ask you about the play. It was actually the winning basket. It was Grayson throwing to Nick, kind of bounced off. What did you see on that play? What do you remember from that play?
I saw it being like the pass wasn't so great, so like he had to reach back, and I just kind of ran right behind him, just to hope just to be sure to like not lose a possession. So I was just running, and it came right to me, like the way I played it out in my head, honestly, and made a layup right after that. Yeah, I think it was on the break.
Worked pretty well.
Front right again.
This is for Kevin. Your offense seems to be predicated on, well, the team's offense seems to be predicated on, shooting threes or getting looks in the paint. How do you think spreading the floor like that helped the team tonight?
I think it helped us out a lot. We normally, that's not the way. I mean, we don't rely on shooting threes, but tonight it was us there, and I picked my poison with each shot, and they just happened to go in tonight.
Any further questions for Dylan or Kevin? All right, guys, thank you for your time. Good luck against Maryland.
Appreciate it.
And we will open the floor for questions for Coach Bird. Yeah, they can go, yeah. Here on the right by the pillar.
Coach, just hearing what your players said about you, about this being your first NCAA tournament win. I know obviously you've probably already got your mind thinking about Maryland in a couple of days, but when you look back on this season, your 800 win this season, your first NCAA tournament win this season, what does it mean to have these guys in the locker room with you?
Well, those two guys right there, particularly. When we recruited them, we had made 6 trips to in their senior year in high school, our 7th trip to the NCAA tournament. So they had every reason to believe that they were going to get to play in the NCAA tournament when they came to Belmont, and we've gone 3 years prior to this without making it. Even though 2 of those years we were a good team, regular season champions, and then this year regular season champions and don't win the tournament. So it's really, to me, there's a lot of things about all this, but the most special part of making this tournament and now winning this game is those 2 guys right there, because they've been great leaders. They've worked really, really hard to become better basketball players, and they both represent Belmont in such a positive way at all times. And so that's the best part of it. I get the question a lot. What's the missing piece? The missing piece is y'all had never won a game in the NCAA tournament, and so I don't really care about the personal part. If we'd have lost this game, I'd have been proud of what we've accomplished, but I don't have to answer that question anymore.
Right here.
Hey, Rick, I wanted to ask you about that play too, the Grayson, and specifically, if you remember what you were yelling to Grayson after the play, and maybe some of the ups and downs he had tonight.
I don't remember what I was yelling at him. I mean, that's just one of those things. Both teams had probably double-figure points off of almost accidental scores. It seems to me. I don't think it was nearly the cleanest basketball game you're going to see. I thought that play was real important. I also thought the back door that we got to Dillon late in the game was didn't mathematically clinch it, but it really made it tough for them to come back. But I yelled at Grayson quite a bit tonight, so I'm not sure what that one was about.
Yeah, front left here.
Rick, you said it wasn't a clean game. Did you ever feel like you guys were losing control of it, or did you feel like you were in it the whole way?
Well, we were in it the whole way, but I felt probably at least 3 different times that our guys had absolutely no concept of what we were supposed to be doing, particularly on the offensive end, and that's disappointing. And if that had happened and we'd lost, I would feel I'd be embarrassed by us coming down offensively and really not knowing what our offense was supposed to be, what our concept was. And we've got several of them, but they know. And I don't know if it's the moment. We're young. We still got Grayson is a freshman point guard, and he does a lot of great things and made a lot of big driving baskets for us tonight. And nobody plays harder or competes harder, but a freshman point guard is going to make some mistakes, and we didn't get into our offense. All the times they made their run, they were scoring easy baskets because we weren't scoring on our end, and they were getting transition baskets and open floor baskets.
Right here on the left, in front.
Stephen Boero, the Belmont Vision. Coach, were you surprised at all how well Nick Buzinski played tonight? And was there at any point that you were a little nervous that he could have re-aggravated his injury by the amount of time he had?
As good as he was playing, I was not the least bit concerned about his ankle at that point. He needed to be in the game for us to be good, and so that thought never entered my mind. We got him enough rest because he got tired naturally. He does anyway. He needs to be in better shape, period. But certainly he hadn't run, hardly in 10 or 11 days, and we knew he wasn't going to be in good shape. So I thought he played terrific. We just didn't know what we were going to get. And frankly, yesterday in practice, he didn't look very good at all. He missed a little. That first shot he missed, if anybody can remember, just a wide open little bunny layup, a pick and roll, and he had it. He did that about 6 times yesterday, and I thought, I don't know what we're in for. But he really showed a lot today.
Got time for 2 more. 1, 2.
A situation like this, and looking forward to Maryland, when you have 48 hours to prepare for an opponent, what's the biggest key to get your team ready?
Well, fortunately, in this day and time, with all the video that's instantly available and with the staff of enough people to divvy up games that Maryland's played. In fact, we already started. Coach Brian Ayers has already looked at quite a few and made some clips, and I'll certainly do the same. And we ought to be ready to practice tomorrow. I hope it's afternoon. I hope we get to sleep a little bit once we get to Jacksonville about 4 in the morning and a hotel 5 in the morning or whatever it's going to be, that we can practice late in the afternoon or early evening and give us time to get ready for what they do and how they do it and what's the best way for us to attack their defense and do the best we can to defend their offense. I've really not seen Maryland play much on TV this year at all, and I know they're a young team and they've had a pretty impressive year.
Got one. Last one here on the right.
Wondered about Caleb being ill,
Yeah.
and what do you think about him for a couple of days from now? What might that mean?
Caleb,
Just have a little more depth with him?
Yeah, he would have played tonight for sure some, and he just had I don't know if it's a stomach virus or he just did not feel like playing basketball, and got a little medicine, and he started to rebound at mid-afternoon, but it all came back. It's about all the detail you need to know, and so hopefully he'll get through that and be able to get out there and play a little bit, because he gives us some physical presence and toughness, and he can shoot the basketball, and we could have used him.
All right, Rick, thank you. Good luck
Thank
against
you.
Maryland.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
things. I'll eat it. It's my fault I didn't mention it. We ask that you guys keep the audio recording devices off the table, and there's also, as a reminder, no video recording allowed or flash photography for video. The distribution sites are straight back, right across the tunnel. There's a video distribution hallway across the hall. Fran, if you'd like, you can start with an opening statement before we open the floor for questions.
Well, hard-fought game. I thought Belmont did some really good things at opportune times. I thought our comeback in the second half was terrific. They made a couple of big shots that helped them. They got a couple of offensive rebounds, a couple of plays that just didn't go our way. We needed to be a little sharper offensively and do some different things that would have allowed us to get to the rim and maybe get more foul shots attempted, those kinds of things. But very proud of our guys and who they are and how they comport themselves and do a good job. I'm proud of these two. And been a great 4 years with Shiz, great 2 years with Nate, so I'm grateful for that.
Questions for Shiz and Nate only at this point, right here in the front on the right.
Shiz, it was a 1-point game at the 8-minute timeout. And I don't know if you remember the exact sequence. They came out and hit a couple of threes at the top of the key where they got space. I don't know if you recall, those sequence there a little bit, what happened defensively to you guys there.
I think a couple of those threes were in transition, and we didn't match up in transition. They pushed the ball up the court, and we talked about it for the past couple of days, how they were running to the three-point line, but we didn't find them in transition, and that's how they got some open looks.
Right here on the left on the aisle.
Shiz, you kind of gathered everyone on the court around you at the very end after the game. What was the message you kind of wanted to share with your teammates?
I just thank them for their work and allowing me and Ernest to get to the NCAA tournament like we wanted to so badly. Me and Ern got here our freshman year and we haven't been back since. So I just thanked all the guys for their hard work and just helping us get back here.
Right here in front again on the right.
Nate, could you just talk about your defense on Windler? You really, shut him down numbers-wise.
I just was really focused the entire game to make it really tough for him. I know he's one of the best players in the country, so I know he's a catch and shoot player. So I was try to drive to the basket as much as possible, pressure, because I know he doesn't like really dribbling the ball like that. So I was really just trying to make it really tough for him and just shut him down.
Right here in the front.
Shiz and Nate, this could be for both of you, but Belmont seemed to mainly shoot just threes and inside the paint, not much else in between with the mid-range game. How much did that make that difficult for them to defend? Just the fact that they only settled for whether it was threes or inside the paint, they didn't settle for anything in the mid-range. How did that make it difficult to defend them?
That's what they do. They're really good at that. They're really good at shooting the three ball. And the big fella got freshman of the year, so he's really good at post up. And that team's smart. They only do what they're good at. And sometimes I start trying to try things, or other guys on the team start trying to try new things. But they stuck to what they were good at and shot the three and post ups. But we knew that they were going to do that, and that's why sometimes their numbers are so good, because they just stick to what they do well.
Right here on the left on the aisle.
Shiz, when the shots stopped falling, was it a little bit of fatigue, or did the shots just stop falling?
I think it was just one of those things where the ball just stopped bouncing my way. I had a good run and for a stretch, and if I had to do over, I would get my teammates more involved once the shots stopped falling. But I was just so locked in on just trying to win. So if I had to do over, I probably would have turned down some of those shots that I took.
Any further questions for Shiz or Nate? Hey guys, thank you for your time. Congratulations on your season. We'll open the floor for questions for Coach Dunphy at this point. Right here and right in the front.
Yeah, Fran, sort of broadly speaking, what didn't get done offensively for the team all night?
Well, I thought we forced a couple of things. We had some decent opportunities. At one stretch in the second half, we probably can't play any better than we did. We got some good baskets off of transition. I thought our defense was really solid in that same part of it. But I think toward the end of the game, we just we weren't as efficient, weren't as sharp, weren't as crisp as we needed to be. When we did get to the rim, we didn't finish. We got to the foul line. We missed a couple of foul shots too. It would have stemmed the tide a little bit. So I would say a number of those things. But I thought our defense overall was fairly good. I thought you had mentioned something to Shiz on the one jumper that McLean hit. I thought, from what I saw, I'll be anxious to see it on the film, I thought Shiz was in pretty good position. This just was a tough jumper that McLean made. The one by Hopkins, we just didn't switch out quickly and well enough. Those two plays hurt us. I thought there was another play that really hurt us was we were up 5 and they missed a shot and we gave up an offensive rebound. It was to McLean again. McLean really, he did some damage to us.
Right here on the left in the aisle.
Fran, is it hitting you at all that it's the end?
No, I'm just disappointed for the guys that we're not able to continue on and go to Jacksonville and play against a team like the University of Maryland, and give a lot of credit to Belmont. They're a good team. Rick does a great job of coaching them. A kid like Windler, who I thought Nate did a terrific job on him, but he didn't do anything crazy. He let the game come to him. He goes 14 rebounds, and he was a critical piece to their whole game plan, even though he wasn't scoring. I think that's a sign of a terrific basketball player. But no, to answer your question, Mike, I haven't thought too much about it. I will reflect in the coming days, and again, I'm very appreciative of what Temple University gave to me, what the University of Pennsylvania gave to me, and I'm a pretty fortunate guy.
Right here in front.
How did Mizinski impact the game from inside, especially with Windler kind of limited in his production?
How did Mizinski
impact the game from inside?
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. I thought he's got great pace to his game. He's very intelligent down there. He knows what he can do. I thought he had a couple of really terrific moves inside. A couple of those, I thought we did as good a job as we could as defending him, but he's a talented kid.
Yeah, on Mizinski, it seemed like you probably only doubled him a couple of times. You pretty much left it one-on-one. Just talk through that, the way you approach that.
Yeah, his assist to turns are pretty good for a big guy, so that obviously their three-point shooting is something you want to limit if you can. So we took our chances just to play him one-on-one with Aaron and with Justin Hamilton. So, and I wouldn't change that part of it. I don't think, but he was very, very good.
Let's go front left here.
And one of those baskets he made in transition too. After Aaron made a field goal, and he made a transition basket, which that hurt us too. I'm sorry.
It seems like at different points in the second half during runs from either team, the pace picked up. Were you guys okay with playing at that pace, or looking back, would you have preferred to slow it down a bit?
Well, when we were picking it up and we were scoring, I was terrific with that pace. But when we missed a few shots, I would have chosen that we would have been a little bit more deliberate in our pace of play.
Here left in the aisle, got time for two more, right here.
How much did you feel like Ernest's first half foul trouble played a part, Fran?
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly like to have had Ern play more minutes in that first half for sure. I thought I didn't see the first foul. The second one, he was sort of over the top, and we mentioned it to him at halftime. Like, if you got that first foul, you got to be careful of doing things like going over somebody's back on that foul, and it just limited how many minutes he had. I thought Damian did a decent job of getting himself in the right spots. Didn't finish a couple of layups, but he helped us there. And then Justin Hamilton did a pretty good job too. The last play of the first half hurt us too, where we had a foul to give. Shiz thought he gave it, but he didn't, and I could see it on the film that he didn't. And we needed somebody else to step up and limit that. That was a backbreaker at the end of the first half.
Got time for one more? Last question right here on the left.
Fran, I know it was thrown off a little bit with Flackby getting into foul trouble and, having to sub a little bit more than you would have liked to, but would you have changed anything defensively, whether it be switches or otherwise, to kind of avoided some of those cuts they had going to the basket that it seemed like they got one too many of?
Yeah, well, there was a big cut that they had going to the basket off of Muszynski, I think. I thought Muszynski made a real nice pass there. We didn't do a good job on that, but I think overall I was pleased with our positioning defensively. I thought Chris Clark did a great job of walking us through exactly what we needed to do to try to beat them. Obviously, Nate did a terrific job on Windler, but as I said, Windler's a pretty smart guy. He's not going to force anything. McLean, there was one time where Quentin Rose went to the basket. He banged his head on the floor, and we're a little bit lost in transition. McLean made a huge jumper there. So those kind of plays hurt us. And McLean in the first half, we had him under control, and we didn't go out far enough on him. So those kinds of plays. But I think our X and O thought defensively I was okay with. I'll learn a little bit more about it tonight when we watch the film.
Fran, thank you. Congratulations on your
Thanks.
season.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Thank you very much.